Hello everyone, I've decided to play some more Deadguy Ale again today. I'm playing the lists by an MTG player called Andoneko. Where is it? Yeah, this is the deck list. It was played by this guy Andoneko, like I think he 5-0'd and top 8 at the Legacy Challenge at the same time. Around, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe 4. And I haven't had time yet to try it out, but this is the main deck, with also like the Better Skull that you can't see here. And the sideboard is, yeah, it's this. So I'm curious how it will work out. Like not a whole lot seems different from what I used to play, but at least he's getting results with it lately. So like he plays a Gideon main deck and a Vindicate in addition to the Council's Judgment. And he also plays 23 lands, which maybe is okay with all the mana screw I was getting. And instead of Rest in Peace, he plays a Leyline of the Void as a sideboard card. He does not play Toxic Deluge, but he does play Zealous Persecution and Engineered Plague, which may deal with True Name. And of course, like the 4 Lilianas and the Council's Judgment. So it doesn't seem stellar against True Name, because like you don't have the blue sword either. But it may be okay. We'll find out soon. Other lead. He was playing something I don't even remember. I'm going to keep this. I'm not sure if he was playing Miracles or some weird combo stuff. We have turn 1 Plow into turn 2 Confident, which is good against a bunch of decks. Oh, Thoughtseize. I'm definitely gonna lead with a Thoughtseize here. Okay, he has a Plow. Oh, maybe this was guy playing Helm of Obedience, Rest in Peace. That means Enlightened Tutor can get a part of the combo, which is nasty if he ever draws a land. But yeah, probably getting the Force of Will. Actually, no, probably the Plow. Because then he needs to spend 2 cards countering my Confident. Oh, he drew a land. Then he doesn't have an out to my Dark Confident, except countering it, and then my Liliana or my Vindicate on his land will resolve, hopefully. Force Pitch Chase. Now if he fetches here, I'm going to Vindicate, but he does not, so I'm probably going to drop my Liliana here. Or do I drop my Confident? I think I want to get my Liliana ticking up as quickly as possible. I mean, he has this Pyroblast to discard, so it's not... So it's not great. But yeah, after he discarded Pyroblasts, we should be getting some value out of it. I'm assuming he doesn't play creatures, and I already have the Liliana to make him sacrifice anyway, so I'm not going to discard Lingering Souls, because he might just Enlighten Tutor for Rest in Peace, and we would never get any value out of it. Yeah, exactly, he already has the Rest in Peace. So here we could Vindicate a land or the Rest in Peace, but I'm not sure if that's worth it. I could just Dark Confident. Probably want to start by discarding something. Oh yeah, he already has Enlightened Tutor. Never mind then. We'll see what he tutors for. And make our decision based on that. Okay, engineered explosives. But he can't play it for 3. I think I discard land, because 3 should be enough here. Then I vindicate one of his mana sources, so he can't engineer explosives for 3 and kill my Liliana. And then we can make him discard it if he doesn't play it on 2. I think I keep plussing the Liliana. Then I play out a Confidant here. So my opponent will have to spend 2 mana to kill it in his turn, killing the rest in peace so we can get some value out of the Lingering Souls. Hopefully, of course. But that would mean he needs to draw a land of this Ponder. Then we don't get any value out of plussing the Liliana. At least we can still like destroy 2 permanents or whatever with the ultimate. Then next turn, I'm gonna wait until next turn to ultimate it, because I want to keep it alive and make sure he never gets any more cards in his hand. I'm gonna make him choose between the fetch land and the 2 tundras, because I think the fetch land is most valuable here. And even though he does play engineered explosives, I'm not gonna play around the second one. I just want to kill him as quickly as possible. And they're dead. Means I want to bring in the Disenchant, the Pithing Needle to stop Helm of Obedience, or Chase, the Duresses to take one of the combo pieces. I think I'm gonna assume he doesn't play any creatures, like maybe a Snapcaster Mage, but we can always kill it with Liliana. Jitta doesn't seem stellar either. So I could see cutting some parts of the Stoneforge package for like more permanent disruption in Gideon. He can also like make an emblem to finish them without them suspecting it beforehand. Maybe I'll leave him 1 plow in case they are on a Monastery Mentor plan. Actually, I think I just leave in 2 plows. No, one plow is probably enough together with the Lilianas. Okay, no mana, easy mulligan. I pressed mulligan, right? And this is kind of good. Thoughtseize into Stoneforge into Liliana. This we can curve out perfectly. I'm gonna fetch a basic here. This might, because they play a lot of both basics and enchantments and so on, so you never know if they play something like back to basics. Definitely going to him here before I play the Stoneforge. Because now we mulligan, so we're one card behind, and him to Turak should put us back on the same amount of cards there. He could have a Flusterstorm or a second Spell Pierce. But I don't want him to Spell Pierce Liliana, so as long as it's not Flusterstorm, I would have been fine with it getting a Spell Pierced. Blood Moon. I'm definitely happy I got myself a basic there. Now we need him not to have basic planes into plow or like engineered explosives for one to kill this. Of course he does have it. So we have one basic plains and one more basic swamp. So we are very unlikely to draw any of these. We might draw spells that cost only one black mana. Perhaps, like a Dark Confidant or so. I'm playing these out in case I draw a Batter Skull, so we can Batter Skull through a Spell Pierce. If opponent finds a white mana here, they did shuffle, so that's good for us. Because if they find a white mana and they can plow this Confidant, it's probably going to be very difficult to win here. Ooh, okay. They are really... These engineered explosives really finished us there. I think we don't really have a chance of winning, because they can just ponder and brainstorm until they find everything they need. Like all their colors, until they have like double island and can play a Jace. Ooh, this place is very good. I think I attack here. If they have a Snapcaster, that's fine. I think since they play Helm of Obedience, I don't actually think this deck would want to play something like a Snapcaster. Here I can disenchant a Blood Moon and start doing stuff to them. I'm not entirely sure if it's correct. Or I could also do it end of their turn, because now they also get to do stuff. Like now they get to plow my Dark Confidant, for example. Because now they get white mana. Okay, they did have it. Rest in peace, energy field. Get discarded. I probably fetch another basic here, just in case they have a second Blood Moon-ish card. I want to play the Liliana and discard my Scrubland. Then next turn Stoneforge into Batterskull. The Batterskull is not so great against this deck, I assume. Because they're very likely to have also disenchant effects or just other things that make them not care about Batterskulls. Oh, they discarded a Monastery Mentor, so they are on a mentor plan. It's very good to know. I'm going to make them sacrifice, even though they probably just make a token here. They did not. Okay. Oh yeah, I could have wasted them first, so they couldn't have any mana. Maybe that would have been better. To play around them brainstorming in response. I keep the land in hand. I waste the white source. Because I think hardcasting this Batterskull isn't worth making them adapt with white mana, because they already lost 2 Tundras now, so they probably only have like a basic plains left, or maybe 2. But if they have so many basics, maybe they don't play the full set of Tundras, so they might get color screwed here. And now I'm also not playing out the Verdant Catacombs because I think I don't have any more fetchable lands. Okay, they did have one more Tundra. But we have a Batterskull. And I keep these Verdant Catacombs in hand to discard to the Liliana next turn. They could have a Vendilion click here and like steal the Batterskull. Who Enlightened Tutor for? Let's find out what they're gonna tutor for. Oh yeah, rest in peace, just one of the combo pieces, and then hope to just randomly top deck the Helm of Obedience, I guess. I think it would have been smarter for them to fetch the Helm of Obedience, because they could cast it here. And then if they drew the Rest in Peace, which probably they have more of in their deck anyway, they could already activate it. Like if now they top deck Helm of Obedience, they can't activate it yet. While if they top deck the Rest in Peace after playing Helm of Obedience last turn, they would be able to kill me instantly. Now they're still giving me 1 extra turn out. I'm gonna get rid of the Plow. I don't think they have another Mentor coming up. And even Liliana can kill any Mentors, because they have 0 cards in hand to make tokens with it. And basically they have exactly this turn to draw the Helm, and they did not. So it was not an easy win, because yeah, the Blood Moon really complicated things. I think it was still correct to just kill the Blood Moon instead of waiting for him to draw a Plains and Plow my Confidant. Or maybe, if he waited longer, he could also have found a Force of Will to counter my Disenchant, for example. So... And your second opponent. Amog. Never played against this guy before, as far as I know. Opponent wishes us good luck and having fun. So yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna lead with the basic here, just not to get any surprises. Unless he plays a Mother of Runes here, which I really want to plow. Maybe even if they're elves, I want to plow something, or I want to keep it open. Oh yeah, definitely gonna plow the Heritage Druid. But I'm going to wait until he casts something that he can actually tap to activate here. Because if he doesn't know this Heritage Druid is going to get exiled, maybe he makes a misplay. Firewood Symbiote, that's gonna bounce. That's gonna bounce his Heritage Druid in response to a removal spell. Although, of course, Firewood Symbiote also makes my plow really bad. I mean, Firewood Symbiote is gonna make my future removal spells kind of bad against the other elves. And it's also gonna make Jite kind of awkward potentially. I think I lead with him to Turak here. Just because I don't want to die next turn. And then next turn I can Stoneforge for Jite and Deathrite. Opponent discarded Nissa and the land. The land I probably don't care about, but the Nissa would be very annoying to deal with. So and he's got the combo. You're probably not winning. You're probably not winning this. I'm still gonna try, but he can draw like 3 cards a turn if he wants, and we're never gonna be able to kill any of his dudes. Because he didn't have 3 elves so far, maybe I shouldn't have plowed the Heritage Druid. Maybe I should have waited to plow one of the Firewood Symbiotes. So in this matchup I probably want Canonist, especially on the draw. Definitely Plague, Fatal Push and Zealous Persecution. Probably not Pithing Needle. Toxic Deluge would have been good here, but we don't have it. And the same would have been true for Containment Priests. That would have been great. Like Grafdigger's Cage or something. But yeah, we have 6 cards to board in, so that's probably enough already. I'm not conceding yet because there are still a few things we could draw. Like, I don't know, 3 plus in a row or something. But he's got natural order, so it doesn't matter. So we take 19 here. And we did. Yeah, that's why our opponent was probably taking so long. He just wanted to make sure he had exactly enough damage. Oh, actually he did not. But we're still dead. Like, I can kill some of his stuff just to be funny. Okay, I can exile the hoof and I can play out my death right. And then next turn we take 1 damage and we die. If I would have had 1 more turn and could equip this Jitta here, could have been okay, but... Draw a card. Unfortunate. Lingering Soul seems slow. I mean, it is a flying creature that can carry a Jitte without getting stopped by the symbiote thing. So I probably want to keep a few. Liliana doesn't do a whole lot here, so I'm definitely cutting a few. Council's Judgment does deal with, like, it does exile a Progenitus if they board it in. Maybe want that over the Vindicate. Like, I might Vindicate the Cradle, but otherwise the Council's Judgment is just going to be better. And cut to him. Because like now we just hit 2 cards that were not important. Actually, maybe Vindicate is better than the him. Because at least this deals with the resolved permanent. Would like to play first? Yes. This hand is very tricky. I'm gonna keep it because of Engineered Plague. But if he has like a Thoughtseize or just like a turn 2 kill, this will be too late. But at least I also have the confidence. So this hand with also a turn 1 action spell would probably have been really great, but now it's going to be tricky. Like, depending on the amount of disruption they have. And the speed. Like, they could, if they Zenith for Arbor here, and then so Zenith, yeah, if they Zenith for Arbor, then play Cradle and like make a bunch of mana. We could have been in bad shape. Scrubland. Probably not going to show the Wastelands yet here. Probably as abruptly case, so I would like to play this at some point where he already has several elves in play. So at least we get to kill some things before it gets destroyed by his decays. Or like Rex Sage. Yeah, like if he taps both of these to play like 1 mana thing, very happy, but he does not, unfortunately. I'm still killing both of these instantly, of course. I could be greedy and wasteland them and play Canonist here. Actually, if I play Canonist, they can only play one thing and I get to kill even more stuff. Unless if they play Wirewood Symbiote, they can save their Visionary from getting killed by the Plague and they get to draw 1 more card. Yeah, I think everybody knows I'm a greedy person, so I'm just going to do it this way. And I'm definitely not trading a Confidant for a Visionary here. Because I need to draw more cards, like this is not going to be enough to beat them. They don't have anything. That's interesting. Ooh, Fatal Push is going to be good. Some points. Ooh, they could actually float black mana here and kill it, I suppose. Yeah, they're going to float black mana and they're going to decay it. But otherwise they would also have been able to decay it. But with their Bayou, because I wouldn't have wastelanded them. And at least now I have the Canonist in play, so I get to deal more damage. Here I'm going to be aggressive, because I don't think they want to block with their Dried Arbor. Because then they will be really behind on mana. Ooh, they do block it. And also because I have a Fatal Push, so I can kill their thing and they make more tokens and stuff. And I'm already at a low life total. So I would be fine to take the trade, and I would be fine if they did not take the trade. Here, I think I play out the Lingering Souls and then upkeep, kill their Deathrite. That means they could potentially make black mana of this. Actually, yeah, their mana screwed, so maybe I shouldn't. And otherwise they could gain life. But I think because they didn't play a land this turn, it's probably right to not do it away. Because the player was debating, if I didn't explain it clearly enough, like play Lingering Souls in my own turn, and then upkeep, kill their Deathrite, so they would still not be able to use it for mana in their own turn. Ooh, Vindicate their land. I like that idea. Or Vindicate their creature. I guess I start by attacking and see what they do. Probably don't block. But I think I Vindicate their land, their creature, because it could block, so it slows down our clock at some point. And if they thought they can other forest, they could like start playing stuff in 2 turns, like if I don't draw any more removal. Oh, they have another one. Okay. Here the question is to Thoughtseize or not. I think I want to Thoughtseize. I don't want to take any risks with them having something broken in their hand. And Abrupt Decay is the only thing that does anything here. So I get to attack with Shambling Vent. Next turn, probably Batterskull should do it. So you need for Dried Arbor, we waste it, and nothing was achieved by them. See, I could attack by Shambling Vent. It's a 2-turn clock. Now he blocks 1, so it's a 3-turn clock. If I play the Lingering Souls if I attack here, play the Lingering Souls, probably it's still a 3-turn clock, because I can't flash it back with either, so one can I still play. If I play Confident, if I play Batterskull, like each option makes it a 3-turn clock. The Batterskull is kind of weak to them, top decking land twice for Rex Sage. I think Lingering Souls being unblockable against their deck is most important here. So next turn I attack for 6. They need to block, and oh, they can block and bounce here with the Wirewood Symbiote. So I need to make sure I have enough mana to flash back Lingering Souls. To be sure, like whatever happens on the ground, then next turn I will have lethal in the air. Yeah, the mana base for this deck seems quite solid so far. Like, we didn't get mana screwed, and this is a bit of a flood, but we get to use the mana because of the Shambling Vent, so I don't think I want to count this as a real flooding. Then on the draw, I feel like I want to cut some number of him to Turek again for oh no, Pithing Needle. Actually, I don't mind a Pithing Needle on the draw because we're already slow, just to stop their symbiote things, and probably keep in one him to Turek, because Duress, if they don't have a Glimpse or Green Sun Zenith or Natural Order, maybe this Duress doesn't do enough. Actually, if I'm not too late, oh yeah, I am too late. I wanted to switch it back for a Duress, but no such luck. I think I have to keep this. It doesn't have any removal, so we could just die to them doing their thing. Like if they play a Deathrite, they also get to exile their fetch land, and our Deathrite will not do a whole lot. Here the Pithing Needle is not the worst, because we have Stoneforge, and in order to get damaging with Jitte we need to be able to Pithing Needle their yeah, their bounce things. Okay, they have the Wirewood Symbiote. That means we need to... I'm going to Needle it first, because then my Hymn to Turak might be able to take it out, might be able to take the Visionary out of their hand. Oh, they already bounce it here. It means they get to bounce one more thing if they really want to, but... Wirewood Symbiote... Exile that thing for black. Could see some merit to playing Dark Confidant here, because we really need to draw more lands and other stuff, but yeah, they have Natural Order and Visionary, so we definitely could have died next turn if they have a Cradle or something. So that was the reason, yeah, we just need to him to survive, but otherwise playing Dark Confidant is of course better here, because we are kind of screwed in... kind of screwed on lands and interaction with their creatures. It probably has really complicated thinking going on here. Like these things make elves, I think, probably a very hard deck to play. Like, I've never tried it myself. I certainly respect the amount of things you need to take into account here. It's like all these abilities, you can use some of them once, some of them you can use more, like Versatile Rangers, and counting all the mana and the stuff you get to do with your mana is seems hard. So they played they're not cracking their fetch land yet, so they don't want to give me any mana. So I could either Stoneforge here, get the Jitte, or I could play Confident, hope to draw more lands, or I could Thoughtseize them and hope they fetch in response so I get a second mana, but that seems unlikely. So I probably keep this open to block and to stop their death, right? Actually, Quirion Ranger also gets to block Jitte because they can fetch Dried Arbor and bounce it. So the biggest question here is Stoneforge or Confident. I feel like I need more interaction first. I think like just this Stoneforge isn't going to be enough. Otherwise, if next turn we don't draw a land, I can play the Stoneforge, but I still can't Thoughtseize. Well, now I hope to draw a land and be able to do multiple spells every turn. Okay, they do have 3 mana here. So maybe the Thoughtseize would have been good, because if they have Natural Order, I might be dead. It looks like Natural Order. Okay, guess I should have gone for a Thoughtseize. Progenitus. We're dead in 2, unless we draw Liliana, and actually Liliana doesn't do it yet. We need to draw like the white thing, Council's Judgment. So we can't engineer Plague with because we don't have the land. Otherwise I could plague away these creatures. The next turn plow the Deathrite and hope to win that way. Probably need to plow something in order to be able to ever get rid of the Progenitus. I probably need to plow the Deathrite. Then probably attack with the Confident here, because I don't think they want to block. Because they want me to die as quickly as possible. So they probably want me to take some more damage here. That's what I'm counting on. Definitely thinking about it. Maybe it was wrong though, because we can't draw both. If they don't fetch here, we can't draw both the land and the Council's Judgment. Because this line needed them to fetch with their Misty Rainforest, which they don't seem likely to do. Okay, we drew the land. You're probably dying to the thing here. Let's draw a card and see if we would have drawn the Council's Judgment. In that case, the Dark Confident... Nope, did not. It didn't matter. Okay, that's unfortunate. Some amount of Containment Priests would have been good in this deck. Maybe we would have been able to live a bit longer if I Thoughtseized first, or if we actually drew some land. Yeah, I think I need to mulligan this. I'm not even greedy enough for that. Like if we Thoughtseized first, or if you actually drew lands a bit quicker. Hold on a second. I'm gonna play the fetch land here because I don't want to get stifled. Very unlikely to get stifled at all, but still no reason not to play around it. And then If I hadn't drawn the plow, I would have played out the confident, because I care less about my confident than about Stoneforge in these matchups, because a GT could really take over this kind of game. But yeah, because I drew the plow, I could play round days, and that means I didn't want to play either of these. Okay, let's look at some pictures while we're waiting. Could be decent enough. Here I think I want to play the Forge though, because they can't daze us anymore, and I don't expect them to have a second force and blue card. So now I kind of want to get my GT online as quickly as possible, so I don't take too much damage from these two. And this was a reason to not take Better Skull, because if they kill my Stoneforge like they did with this Fatal Push, then the Better Skull would have been very hard to cast. Unfortunately, I don't think I can raise this, so maybe hardcast Better Skull would have been better in the end, if they don't have a daze. I'm gonna play Jitte first, because if they have a daze, they have a Fatal Push. If they have a daze, they're probably not gonna daze my Confident, because they have the push, and then if I play the Confident first, they could still have dazed the Jitte. Ooh, they did have it. I mean, this also makes sense, because now they get to keep the push for something else. Like my Shambling Vent, for example. Which means I'm not going to activate it, and yeah, I'm dead here. My opponent kind of had it all. Like he only needed to brainstorm once to find all the perfect interaction. But that's life. Because they're on Tarmogoyf, maybe the Zeal's Persecution is actually not so good. And take out some hand interaction for some more board interaction. Actually, nah, Zealous. I don't know, if they have True Name, I probably bring it back in, but this seems better. Hand is kind of slow without the 1-drop and all these 3-drops. I think on the play I might be tempted to keep. And I'm not going to be playing around dazes here, because I have a lot of expensive cards in hand. Which means that if I want to play all of them around a daze, then... Oh, actually, okay, drawing these Thoughtseize means, obviously, I can afford to play around the daze, but if I play this at 3, then this at 4, 5 mana, this at 6 mana or so, then we're gonna be kind of behind. Here I think... See, next turn he untaps and either wastes me, which means I can't play my more expensive stuff, or he fetches and him to Thorax. Like he wastes plus Deathrite or fetches and hymns. So I can take the Fatal Push, because at some point I'm gonna need a creature. Or I could take the Deathrite, which means he's probably going to... I think I take the Deathrite, which would kind of push him towards hymning me, because I prefer him to cast him to Thorax over him. Actually, him drawing the Ponder means he can Ponder plus Wasteland. which he does not. Yeah, like I prefer him taking random cards from my hand than him taking my land here. Because if he doesn't take land, I'm gonna untap with 3 lands, and he doesn't have a daze, so I could, for example, play this Liliana here. I'm gonna fetch white around the wasteland first, and around the stifle. So he doesn't have daze. Next turn he can waste me and ponder, but none of these things kill me, so... If he plays a Jace, I have the Council's Judgment. I mean, hopefully I will still have it. It's not guaranteed. And if he needs to play the Jace, it also means he's less likely to wasteland, because he's gonna need 3 mana there. 4 mana, I mean, obviously. Gonna discard a fetch land. I don't think we need... We already have all our colors, like we don't need green except for Deathrite. So I'm not gonna fetch and lose more life, I'm just gonna play the scrub land here. Then he's gonna play the Jace. Probably. He discarded the Fatal Push, okay. He could decay my Liliana. I think he should have decayed in his turn, because now we discarded the fetch land and he discarded the Fatal Push, so we definitely got out ahead. Now let's hope our opponent does not have Force plus blue card. And we're kind of back in the game. Like, he's still 3 cards against my 1 card. And he's gonna Angler or Tombstalker here, so we're gonna be under quite some pressure. Oh, this is really bad. He's gonna kill my he's gonna kill almost everything I have. And he's gonna be able to return his Delvers, his Deathrites. Do I even want to play? If I don't play the Confident, he might return one of his things. So playing the Confident means he's not gonna return a threat. I think that's worth it. Actually, no. I think I want to keep. Actually, no. I'm not gonna be able to keep 5 lands because, like, I could want to keep 5 to play Batterskull, but he's probably gonna waste me anyway. Yeah, this Liliana is going to bury us. Like, there is no way we beat this. Very good card, and should be played more, I guess. Oh, he's going for the emblem. Yeah, we definitely don't beat the emblem. So we need to top deck a Vindicate here. Or a Pithing Needle, but I don't think I boarded in Pithing Needle. Ooh, that's actually very good. All we need him not to have is Force Blue card, or Spell Pierce, or Flusterstorm. So basically this got to kill our Confident, but it never got him any value from returning creatures. Oh. So it's still only a 2 for 1, and we're still in the game. Yeah, but he just plays too many Planeswalkers for for a Delver deck. It's just... And I need to plus this here. Need to get into Lingering Souls, I think, to be able to beat this Jace. And he's gonna feed Silas into the ground. the card on the bottom. That's always good for us. Okay, this guy... Yeah, it just has all the planeswalkers. There's no way we're beating both of these, right? Oh, I forgot to fetch. I think I was auto-yielding by accident. We would have needed Lingering Souls, but even then, that wouldn't have been... Even then, I probably wouldn't have won the game. It would just have slowed down. So, you know, we would have needed to draw like 4 Lingering Souls in a row or something to beat both the Liliana and the Chase. As it turns out, the other Liliana is reasonable against Lingering Souls, because it kills a token, goes up to 4, or like up to 5 in this case, and then you can only attack it for 3, then it goes, so it's at 5, it goes, you attack it for 3, it goes down to 2, it kills a token, goes up to 3, and you only have 2 tokens left, and then you still can't kill it. If I had known he played so many Planeswalkers, I would have boarded in the Pithing Needle. But if you see a Delver of Secrets, you don't expect double Chase and double Liliana. I mean, maybe it's a new trend or something. I'll check out if this is something that's popular. Let's see, Delver of Secrets. Jason, Mind Sculptor, and Liliana, the Last Hope. Two Jays, Liliana of the Veiling Skyward, and 2 The Last Hopes. Oh yeah, it's probably a list similar to this one, and I think I have to mulligan this because it might just... No, I think I'm going to keep this. We're already 1 and 2, so I'm just going to take some risks here. If we play it safe, we're not going to end 3 and 2. We need to get out of the comfort zone. Anyway, yeah, it turns out there actually is... Yeah, it's the same list making waves everywhere. So it's probably copy paste of this list, and definitely very effective against our strategy. Like, there's no way we're beating so many Planeswalkers without like even Thoughtseizes. They just... Oh, if this is Death and Taxes, we just kind of lose with this mana base, right? Anyway, like even Thoughtseize is not great against these 5 Planeswalkers because he just ponders and finds a new one off the top, so... Okay, very lucky on drawing lands exactly as I planned. Important, I don't care. Counterspell, I don't care. Probably care most about Snapcaster, because that's it has a body attached to it. Because if I take the Portent, he's just gonna Snapcaster Portent, of course. Now he can Snap Plow, but that's gonna be the only thing to snap here. I think I just attack here. I don't want him to Snap Plow it after I already spent 2 mana equipping it. And then I'm going to jam this. Like if he wants to counterspell a Lingering Souls, I think he definitely should. I mean, that's like something I really don't care about, because it just makes more and more tokens. Snap Plow my Stoneforge. Now all we have to watch out for is Terminus, basically. Which is okay, important. Look for Terminus, probably. And then we need to cast this Gideon as soon as he has no 2 blue mana open. Predict, sure. Lost 2 cards. So I need to draw a white source here, because now he might already have a Force of Will because of the Predict important. Just drawing him a lot of cards. Into Turek is not the worst. I took the trade with the Snapcaster Mage, by the way, because I don't want to waste a plow on it. But also, like, if he terminuses, he can shuffle back the Snapcaster in his deck, so he definitely has to die for him not to get any value out of it anymore. No, it's just too unlucky there. Oh, I forgot to equip my Jitte. Because I could equip the Jitte and flashback the Lingering Souls. But now I won't. Basically, I would have been at the same position, but this thing would have had 2 counters, so it could deal with Snapcasters or like mentors to some extent. I think I want to waste land here, just so I know what he's gonna find. I don't need this mana anyway, because all I care about is more white mana. Like as soon as I find a white source, I'm gonna be able to cast this Gideon anyway. And I wanted to do it in his turn, because if I cast a spell first, he's gonna know if he needs to dig for a Force of Will or a removal spell or anything else. He discards the Verdict. It's interesting. This seems like a very strong list. Like I'm not so fond of playing Delver. I mean, I used to play Bug Delver for a while in paper, like years ago. But I play too grindy, so I can't play tempo decks properly. But otherwise, it seems like something I could see myself playing. Like it seems like a very good, well built deck list. So if you're into the kind of Delver decks, I think it's definitely worth trying one of those. I think he's close to terminusing, so I'm not gonna commit my Dark Confidant yet here. I'm just gonna get some counters on my GT because at least those last. X is 0. Okay, so he can predict away my Liliana, or he can let me draw it. Maybe I should have plus there. It doesn't seem like the worst thing. This is 7 damage here. That's also a reason to equip the Chite, like that this would have been lethal otherwise. I'm jamming the Confidant here. If he doesn't have a removal spell, this is just going to be too great. And he doesn't have a plow, so a Snapcaster Mage wouldn't be enough. Unless like he wants a Snapcaster Verdict or a Snapcaster Absent, but... I'm not equipping here. Am I attacking? I'm not, right? Actually, yeah, I can, because if he flashes in the Snapcaster Mage, I can kill it with the Chite. And I'm expecting opponent not to have anything good yet, so I'm just gonna jam the Gideon. If this resolves, it probably wins me the game. Oh, okay, he does have Counterspell. Probably he just drew it, because otherwise he wouldn't have let the Confidant resolve. Another Counterspell, sure. I can equip here and kill him. Like if he lets this survive, I could waste my counters on pumping it and then getting it killed. But I think it's kind of weird he would let me untap with it. So I'm definitely pumping here. Okay, a Scanta for something. He put a Terminus in his hand. I think it's kind of funny, because he can't miracle it this way. Snapcaster. Ooh, that's very unexpected. Wait, huh? Wait. He already has declared blockers, right? So this shouldn't do anything? It's very interesting. Probably should have done something with that earlier. Might bring in Disenchant against the Ascanta, but it probably transforms immediately, so I'm not sure if it's good. Definitely want the Gideon. Maybe want a Canonist? I don't think so, but these are all maybes. Oh, definitely a Needle against Chase. Cards that are not great are Plows. All they do is like maybe take a Mentor or something, so I'm definitely gonna leave in 2 there. So we bring in Needle and I think Disenchant. Maybe he brings in Pithing Needle for my Planeswalkers as well. Yeah, so we kept a very bad hand with only 1 land and Deathrite. Deathrite got plowed and we still won. That's very good. This hand also seems very good. If our Deathrite doesn't die, we get to turn 2 Liliana. That's never bad. And if he does kill the Deathrite, we get to turn 2 Stoneforge, which is still okay. I mean, he does have Counterspell up. So I feel like maybe I'm probably playing the Stoneforge first, because this is less important. I think I don't care if he wastelands this, if he counterspells this. Come to think of it, I probably should have played it with Mana of Deathrite without playing a land first. Actually, no, I couldn't, because I needed to fetch lands. Never mind. Now, if we already had land in the graveyard, I probably should have cast it with Deathrite mana, so I could still waste away his Tundra there, but didn't matter. It's also good first, like he wasted a counter spell on the Stoneforge, and then he still Terminused anyway, so he could have Terminused away the Stoneforge. Here, I don't want to get the Dark Confident plowed immediately, so that's why I lead on the Liliana here. And I'm okay if it gets countered, because I don't want to discard any of these cards really. Turns out it is still going to get... Definitely discarding the Wasteland. We're not going to be able to cheese out the win by wastelanding our opponent. Like they already had 2 Brainstorms, and yeah, they already made their land drops. And play their Chase. There's nothing we could have done to prevent this. Except board in more duress, obviously. And I'm gonna lead on the Lingering Sorcerer. The Dark Covenant seems very important if we survive the early Jace, like early Jace activations. Like if he has a removal spell, I still get to deal 1 damage every turn at least. He might have set up a natural Terminus, but I'm still going to Stoneforge here. I really hope to draw... I really hope to Violin the Batterskull next turn. I'm gonna discard the Jitte here. Jitte is not so It's not so good in this matchup, I think. Maybe I board out the GT for another duress. Predict, sure. Opponent will have a lot of cards. At least we get to Ultimate Liliana, which could potentially kill the Chase if he terminates away all our creatures. Okay, he did set up the Terminus, so he put back Terminus and then Caracas, Predict mills the Caracas, then he draws 2 cards, and the first of which is Terminus, so it's a good way to set it up. If something happens to the Liliana here, I probably concede. If I can kill the Chase, he probably has the second one by now. Like he only has 39 cards left in his deck, and he already shuffled away a bunch of cards before. Oh, he's gonna absent this, I think. Put it second from the top. Okay. At least we're gonna get a bit more information here. Yeah, we're not beating this, so I'm gonna save myself some time. Like whether I take Snapcaster or Plow, he's still gonna be able to Snapcaster back the Plow or just cast the Plow on my Dark Confidant. Then we draw, yeah, whatever, we don't get to see what we would have drawn. Probably bring in Duress over the Jite. Stoneforge is not so great. I think I like it this way. Nah, I think we need more action, because we need to be... this is kind of bad, but mulliganing to 5 is even worse. So we're just gonna scry here and hope... just hope to draw something. And I can't play out the Wasteland here, because I might top deck him to Turek, so I need to assure myself of double black potentially next turn. So I think Search for Ascanta has the best long-term value. I think that's the one I need to take here. It will be a pity if he counterspells my Planeswalkers, but if I'm lucky and I draw a white source, I mean I clearly should have fetched a Scrubland here to be able to cast my Gideon next turn. That's probably a mistake, but yeah, I wanted to play around. Stuff like back to basics, because he really plays a lot of basics there. So this is basically just a discard spell for his counter spell, and then next turn if we draw a white source, we get to play the Gideon, and I should have been able to play the Gideon regardless. So that's because now if he has another land, he can Snapcaster. He could Snapcaster counterspell my Gideon. Predict, target himself, sure. Draws 1 card. He mills Council's Judgment. That's good for him because Because he's not gonna have 2 white mana anytime soon. Although it is an out to the Gideon here, so... Still getting punished for not fetching a scrubland there. Would probably already have taken over this game if I could have resolved the Gideon earlier. Opponent Snapcasters. Predict, sure. Double absent. So he has a Terminus and something else. The reason I played it before combat is because I didn't want him to ambush my Dark Confidant with the Snapcaster Mage. Oh, this is just great. He could have one counterspell as the last card. It seems unlikely, but it wouldn't be the first time we lose to our opponent having the perfect. This Jace is going to die. We definitely need to make this into a creature, which means we'll have less tokens, of course, but this will be a guaranteed kill because I already made a land drop, so he can't play another Caracas to bounce it or a White Source to plow it. So we attack Gideon will be a 5/5, so we kill Jace with a 5/5 and we attack him with a token. Then he's gonna put back the Terminus, probably second from top, because he knows next turn he's only gonna kill one token. So he probably puts it second so he gets to kill the token I make the turn after as well. Anyway, I think before he played the Jace I was talking about the Hymn to Torek. I don't think I finished my sentence. So I was telling I played it before combat because I knew he had a Snapcaster Mage. So if I attack, he flashes in the Snapcaster, he could block my Confidant and kill it. And I had a plow for the Snapcaster, but then he could still have forced the plow or something, and then I would lose my Confidant. And by playing the Hymn to Torek first, I could check out, like he would probably play the Snapcaster like he did. And then I could test out if my plow would resolve, and then I could decide to not attack with the Confidant if he countered my plow on the Snapcaster or something. Oh, he did put a Terminus on top, I think, because he stops in his draw step. Now he's thinking about whether we should cast it just to kill a single token. I'm still gonna play as if he had the Terminus. On the next place. Like if I would have drawn the creature, I would not have played it here just to be absolutely sure. Gonna make another token. Attack with my first one. Could have played more safe and make the second token after combat, because if he had the Terminus on top, he could have brainstormed into Terminus here and kill both tokens instead of only, like, if he would have brainstormed Terminus with the Terminus still being on top there, then he would have taken 2 damage or not taken the second knight. So like he would have, ooh, he's gonna cancel his Judgment, my Gideon. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I think we're no longer favored to win this game. He has one card in hand, but it's probably better quality than our land. And I'm playing the fetch land here, but I'm not gonna crack it until he plays a Jace. Or like if he portents me, then I might use it to shuffle so I don't get top deck locked by like him putting the lands on top of my deck. Plow my thing. Maybe I shouldn't have played the land here. I would have been able to attack for 2 more damage. He probably wouldn't have plowed until he was sure I didn't draw a creature there. If he has a Snapcaster here, I'm dead. If he has any removal spell, I'm dead. Yeah, probably very dead. I have one more fetchable land, I think. I have a third scrub land. So I might be wanting to fetch that one away. Just slight deck thinning. And then we can use all fetch lands we draw from here to protect ourselves against getting chased or portented. Let's see what's going on there. Predict. He's gonna mill. Oh yeah, he portented, so he knows the cards he has. Names polluted delta, draws 2 cards, okay. Then probably Snapcaster. Oh, counter spells, okay. Now, even when we have the best cards against his deck, we still lose because of things. Like because, yeah, just the total value he gets out of all his portents and ponders and brainstorms. And I'm not casting the Lingering Souls here because he plays both Supreme Verdict and Terminus, and I think he still has a Terminus in hand, so he can actually just hardcast it, because we didn't see it yet here. So I definitely need to use this in case he kills my 2 spirits here. And now all we need to watch out for is Entreaty Angels. That's gonna be... Oh, Terminus, sure. Prefer getting Terminus over getting Entreat the Angels. So... Stoneforge is an okay draw. Better Skull. I think I'm casting the Better Skull here because the Stoneforge is not a big enough threat for him to care about. So this kind of forces him to play another Terminus or something. Then if he plays a Terminus or kills this thing, we can play Lingering Souls and equip it to a token. Like this provides permanent value unless he finds another, like unexpectedly absent or disenchant effect or something. Ascanta, sure. They only have 21 cards in their deck left. So if they do play Entreat, they're probably very close. Probably very close to finding it and casting it. So we need to kill him as soon as possible. Could have killed him one turn sooner by playing Lingering Souls here. And then only equipping next turn. But yeah, exactly, things like Terminus. I'm still gonna play it very slowly. I could flash back here and then I kill him next turn. I give him one extra turn by not flashing back. Oh, maybe I should have Council's Judgmented. He says Kanta before it flipped. I completely forgot I could do that. I think he has a Snapcaster and he wanted to Snapcaster do something. Then he realized he probably wants to wait for me to equip here. Or maybe he wanted to Ascanta and then he realized he wanted to wait to see what I was going to do before he looked for a card. Okay, he did have the Snapcaster. Snapcaster unexpectedly absent. Ooh, yeah, I can just take away my Batter Skull. It's very good because I can't return it to my hand in response. Yeah, definitely should have taken the Ascanta. But X is 0, okay. I'm definitely flashing back the Lingering Souls here. I just need to start dealing damage as soon as possible. Oh yeah, he has a counter spell and then he counters my... Oops. Mistake. We're still in the attack, we're still in the combat phase. Yeah, so he puts back my Batter Skull and then he wants to counterspell it next turn. At least I'm only 2 attacks away from killing here. Reveals Terminus. Next turn he can hardcast the Terminus. Actually, this turn he can hardcast Terminus. But he doesn't do it because he wants to counter my Batter Skull. So I think I cast the Batter Skull here. It does give him value for his counter spell. But I need these Lingering Souls to resolve next turn. And I probably need the flashback to resolve as well. Oh, actually no. So either I Deathrite and Lingering Souls or I just double Souls. I think I start with double Souls. Because then he doesn't know about the Deathrite yet. Yeah, if I had stopped Ascanta, then I would probably already have one if I had Council's Judgmented it. He still has a Terminus. No, he already cast the Terminus. So he's gonna Fate Seal us, and then we Council's Judgmented. Puts a card on top. So we fetch here. I don't want to check if he was bluffing or not. So we have enough mana to cancel Judgment the Chase, then Vindicate the Ascanta, and then play Deathrite. And then he probably just has Entreat the Angels on top or something. He's only 12 more cards. So he's got to have hits at some point. Another Jace, wow. Does he even play Entreat? Maybe he doesn't have any win conditions or so. Like, I would expect him to have either Mentor or Entreat in his deck. Oh yeah, he drew Entreat. Of course, just a turn before we would win the game. I mean, actually not. We could just bounce a Deathrite, but... let's see, we still take 20 if we make them sacrifice here, right? Yeah. Yeah, he has exactly enough. Like one angel less would have given us more outs. Wow, Ascanta really killed us here. That was definitely the most valuable card in his deck. Lingering Souls. Actually, if we had drawn Lingering Souls, we would have been able to block and then, I don't know, do something. Yeah, if we had had one more turn, maybe something would have been possible, but... You know, I have to go visit a friend. I think in this case I wanted to play the last round, just to get a feeling for the deck. But yeah, I have to go visit a friend, and that means I can't continue playing anymore, because these games do quite well. So yeah, I'll probably be trying this deck again. It was definitely powerful, we just lost to being slightly less powerful than our opponent's decks on the long games. Okay, good evening or good morning wherever you are living.